Okay, so I'm just gonna dive in and act like we got 200 people on there. So I'm just gonna start. Welcome. Pardon me while I switch over to my full screen so that you can see my PowerPoint. So stay right with me, and I am going to show you. I'm going to show you. Let's see here. My screen. There we go. So here we go. We are on emotional intelligence and dating. My name is Ryan Hoffaker. Thank you for coming to our webinar. We have a power-packed webinar. Lots of you are on, and I'm so excited because I got a ton of feedback saying that the content in here is great. A couple things you need to know: that I'm going to talk very fast and that we're going to go through these slides very fast. So that is just something that you need to know as we continue on. Here I am. There's a picture of me. I am an author. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. Here is a system that I wrote a few years ago called Oppressing Depression. Natural pathways of overcoming depression, basically trying to help people get through their depression in a natural way. There's a lot of great information out there. Speaker, I worked for a consultant company, and I spoke in over 30 U.S. states to over 80 businesses and organizations on the topic of emotional intelligence. I really didn't think I was an expert in emotional intelligence until I taught the class 40 times, and there is a class of 60 people that I was speaking to. One gentleman raised his hand and asked me how many times I taught the class, and I said, I don't know. I lost count, over 40. And all of their jaws dropped because they'd realized that I taught an 8-hour seminar on emotional intelligence that many times. Basically, you teach the class about 10 or 15 times, and you try to go home and answer the questions that you couldn't answer. And after about 10 or 15 times, there really wasn't a question that I couldn't answer in my class on the topic of emotional intelligence. Owner and operator, CEO of a couple of different companies. Another thing you need to know about me and my dating life is that I invested in knowledge of the topic in order to date extremely well. The second thing that you need to know about me is that I networked with other people who were in the same process as I was, and I got counsel from experts. Okay. When I taught on the topic of emotional intelligence, I would teach these classes, these 8-hour seminars all over the country, and I taught one class on emotional intelligence at a hospital a few years ago, and I found that after teaching one section on the course that we're going to be talking about here in a few minutes, that I saw people on a regular basis after that who had taken my class, and they said to me, after taking your class on emotional intelligence, and particularly this one section, Ryan, it caused me to rethink the relationship that I was in and rethink the health of this relationship, and it caused me to break up. And this was only a class of about 30 people, and I think there were 5 or 6 different breakups after teaching the class because they realized that they were in some unhealthy relationships. So what is in this power-packed webinar? A very specific, scientifically proven way to absolutely sabotage and destroy a relationship with someone that you deeply care about through these 4 behaviors, and I'm serious, this stuff is nasty. You're also going to learn emotional intelligence as a relational dating tool set to attract the man or woman who will lead you to a life of a deep, rich love and fulfillment in a romantic relationship. You're also going to learn the 5-phase process that will lead you toward a healthy, long-term, life-fulfilling, loving relationship. A very simple technique to attract a woman. A very simple technique to attract a man. Plus live Q&A at the end, and much, much more. Another thing that you need to know in taking this hour-long webinar on emotional intelligence and dating is that I cannot cover everything on emotional intelligence and dating in 1 hour. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to cover everything. This is just scratching the surface, but I think that you're going to enjoy it because I'm getting a lot of great feedback. I want to introduce you to my beautiful girlfriend. This is she and I. The upper left-hand picture is she and I at Patrick's Point just a few weeks ago in Northern California, and that's she and I at a waterfall about 3 weeks ago. We went swimming in this mountain waterfall. It was amazing. I actually love that picture because we look really happy, and we are. Our relationship is just going great. The importance of being present. Please type in the word present in the chat mechanism now just to let me know that you are here, that you're present, that you're fired up, that you're ready to take in this content, this information, and hopefully that it's going to be incredibly valuable to you. So I want to tell you about Jack, my buddy Jack, and his meltdown and my new knowledge. Okay. So Jack, back in January, my buddy Jack had a meltdown in a relationship. He called me up. He said, Ryan, I need to come over. So he came over along with a friend of ours by the name of Angel. And basically what had happened, he'd moved to this city in Northern California to chase a girl 2 years ago. He and I were sharing an office space, so we became good friends. So he was sharing this, or he was in this relationship with this woman, chased her out here, moved from Washington, D.C. to get out here. 6 months into his move out to California, she dumped him. Done. She was done. So he was heartbroken, really torn up. He doesn't see her for a year and a half. In January of this last year, sees her, and he was 1 week away from moving down to L.A., and he was all tore up. He had all of these feelings that emerged for her. Ryan, I don't know what to do. I'm coming over. He came over. My friend Angel came over, and we were talking about what to do. And my friend Angel started reading something that she had read a week earlier. It was a blog post on John Gray's 5 stages of a healthy dating relationship. Whatever she read in that room brought a comfort to all of us. It was like, okay, we got to figure out how to help Jack not live in a place of having any regrets, but also living in a healthy way. 2 days later, he comes to me and he says, Ryan, I bought the book on Amazon on how to date, the 5 stages of dating. Read the book, and he said, I wasted 2 years of my life. I wish I would have understood emotionally where I was at and where I am today. And so what did that cause me to do? I read the book, right? So I dove into this dating material, how to date well, and it actually caused me to take a step. And I had a friend that I was attracted to, and I asked her out on a date. I shared my attraction with her. We have been dating for 7 months, and both of us would say it is the best relationship that we've ever been involved in. It's been great. And so I have fused together this idea of emotional intelligence and dating, and I'm going to talk about how we're going to do that here in a few moments. But before we do, everybody always loves this section, but this is John Gottman's 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This is the scientifically proven way how to destroy a relationship. So here's what happened. John Gottman was a professor at Harvard, and he studied the sociologists who studied emotion. In the 1990s, they created this computer software where they would take a camera and they could zero it in on people's faces, and they could determine which motions they were experiencing by the muscle movements in the face. In the early 1970s, they discovered that hiding your emotions coming to your face is actually incredibly difficult. So difficult that the CIA and the FBI learned that in order to pass lie detector tests and change the muscle movements in the face, they had to actually train people to understand and believe different stories, right? So hiding your emotions that come to your face are very difficult. John Gottman would basically, in Harvard in the 1990s, they had this computer program where they would have these couples that would come into a room. And the couples would have these cameras on their faces, and the cameras would shoot to the computer the emotions and the behaviors that they were feeling. John Gottman would intentionally try to trigger these couples in the most difficult aspect of their marriage, and he knew if he saw these four behaviors where the emotions coming onto their faces would go back to the computer, and if the computer said they're experiencing these four things, that John Gottman has statistical research that 95% of those relationships would end or dissolve in a divorce, a breakup, whatever. That relationship would end within 10 years. Okay. So what I'm about to teach you, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, these suckers are nasty, and they're just about guaranteed to destroy a relationship. And when I taught this, when I was teaching on emotional intelligence, it was an eye-opener. It caused people to break up or reevaluate the health of their relationship. So, and the four of them are stonewalling, defensiveness, contempt, and criticism. Don't worry, I'm going to go through and describe each of these here right now. So number 4 is stonewalling. Stonewalling is withdrawing from the relationship as a way to avoid conflict. Partners may think that they are trying to be neutral, but stonewalling conveys disapproval, icy distance, separation, disconnection, or smugness. Stonewalling is where people put up a wall and they basically shut down. The mindset behind stonewalling is that you are actually protecting the other person, or you're being neutral because you're emotionally affected and you do not want to engage. Okay. But what stonewalling is actually doing by disengaging is it's a very offensive move. You know, the silent treatment that you give another person, that can be very, very offensive. The mindset is you're thinking that it's neutral, but in reality, it's very offensive, nasty. Stonewalling creates disconnection, not connection, and it's very, very troublesome. Defensiveness. Defensiveness is seeing oneself as the victim, warding off a perceived attack. Okay. This is where people understand that this is the victim mentality. This is where you get into cross-complaining, where people, an example would be, honey, I'm frustrated that the dishes weren't done last night. I was expecting them to be. I asked you to. I'm just frustrated that they weren't done last night. Oh, yeah? Well, you didn't do the laundry the week before. Okay, that's a cross-complaining. It's a defensiveness technique. People perceive that they're being under attack, so they counterattack in order to, instead of addressing the issue, what they do is they counterattack. Oftentimes in business situations, I would find that people who get very defensive often saw themselves as the victim. Victim mentality, very nasty, not good for relationship, very troublesome. Number 2 is contempt. Contempt is attacking your partner's sense of self with the intention to insult or psychologically abuse him or her. This would be name-calling. The facial expressions that represent contempt are curling of the upper lip, the furrowing of a brow. When there is contempt in a relationship, this is where you get into like hatred, where people use their words to psychologically attack. This is where judgment sets in, where they label another person. And really, really nasty I used to read a variety of different names you could call it individual, and I couldn't even do that. I got to a point where I just can't even read what people use as name calling to other people because it's just so nasty, really nasty stuff. Okay. Number 1 is criticism. Okay. Criticism is attacking your partner's personality or character, usually with the intent of making someone right and someone wrong. We were just out tubing the other day, and a couple had shared with us they'd been married for 10 years. And they said, one of the best things that we can do in a relationship is has the freedom to speak our mind of how we perceive a situation, right? Criticism is making someone either right or wrong rather than valuing their perspective, right? The example, let's go back to the, honey, I'm frustrated that the dishes weren't done last night. That is basically sharing your emotions, how someone else's behavior affected you, which is completely legal, completely cool, and very needed in a relationship. When you say you're a no good, can't do the dishes, you basically criticize the right or wrongness of a person based upon their behavior. This is where it's really nasty. Now, Gottman, going back to these four, Gottman would say that when he saw all four within spending 1 hour of a couple, when he saw all four of these, he had 95% statistical information that basically said their relationship was going to end within 10 years. Gottman goes on to say that with the first two, criticism and contempt, he does not have stats to back this up, but usually when he saw criticism or contempt, he says what he believes is it's a 90% chance that the relationship will dissolve. Criticism and contempt are nasty, nasty behaviors in a relationship. These four together is a recipe that's scientifically proven to destroy a relationship. Really, really nasty. And those are John Gottman's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Now, I want to dive into emotional intelligence real quick. Emotional intelligence is the capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, and for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationships. This is Daniel Goleman's work, working with emotional intelligence. This is his definition. He was the one who came up with the concept of emotional intelligence. Don't need to remember that, but here's what I want you to take a look at, and this is the emotional intelligence 4 quadrants. This is self-awareness in the upper left-hand side, others awareness, or what is called social awareness in the upper right-hand side, self-management in the lower left-hand quadrant, and then other management or relationship management, or what others call social management. These are the 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence. Now, here is the values that you take from having these 4 aspects of emotional intelligence. It's just basically a simple way to break it down. Self-awareness, the upper left-hand quadrant, the value of self-awareness is having confidence. Confidence in who you are, confidence in your identity, who you become, what you contribute. Social awareness, so the upper right-hand side, social awareness up here, the value would be empathy, understanding where people come from. The value of self-management in the lower left-hand side is a self-control. Do you have the ability to control yourself under the intensity of emotion? And then when we really get to a strong place where you understand emotional intelligence, how it affects all areas of your life, and specifically dating is the lower right-hand side, and this is what we call social management, and that is influence. The greatest individuals that make the greatest impact are people with high levels of influence. Okay, so that's just basic way of understanding emotional intelligence, just trying to break it down in a simple way. Here's the definition of emotional intelligence in dating, and this is found in the Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy. The ability to harness and navigate your emotions to acquire an accurate self and social awareness for romantic appeal, self and social management for romantic sustainability, while successfully moving through all 5 stages of a long-term, fulfilling, loving romantic relationship. So I don't need to remember that, but that's just a simple definition of emotional intelligence in dating. We're going to talk more about that here in a little bit. These are the 5 stages of the dating relationship. We borrowed some of this information from the incredible work of John Gray, and we're going to unpack these a little bit because I think you're going to enjoy it. And number 1 is the first phase is attraction to him, attraction to her. The second phase is uncertainty or exploring a fit. The third is commitment, Yep, we're both diving in. We're going to commit to this relationship and really pour into each other and make a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Number 4 is intimacy, into me and into you. This is where you really start to develop a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And then leading into engagement, how to prepare for a lifetime adventure. Okay, name that movie. What I want you to do is I've named the movie in the right side in the chat, and I'm going to read to you a quote from this movie. Here we go. Basic principles. No woman wakes up saying, God, I hope I don't get swept off my feet today. Now she might say, this is a really bad time for me, or something like, I just need some space, or my personal favorite, I'm really into my career right now. You believe that? Neither does she. You know why? Because she's lying to you. That's why. You understand me? Lying. It's not bad. It's not a bad time for her. She doesn't need any space, and she may be into her career, but what she's really saying is, get away from me now, or possibly try harder, stupid. But which one is it? 60% of all human interaction, communication is nonverbal. Body language, 30% is your tone. So that means that 90% of what you're saying ain't coming out your mouth. And of course, she's going to lie to you. She's a nice person. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings. What else is she going to say? She doesn't even know you yet. Luckily, the fact is that just like the rest of us, even a beautiful woman doesn't know what she wants until she sees it. And that's where I come in. My job is to open her eyes. Basic principles, no matter what, no matter when, no matter who. Any man has a chance to sweep a woman off her feet. He just needs the right broom. And I see a bunch of names there. You guys got it right. Hitch is the movie. Way to go. That's a really great movie. Actually, the first 5 to 10 minutes of that movie, incredible information if you want to just get on Netflix and watch it real quick. So attraction. A very simple technique to attract a woman. Attraction to her. Now, this is a script. This is a script from Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss, he's written a bunch of different material, but he used this script to break fear. Very, very important. He used this script to break fear. What he would do is he would actually do it quite a bit. He said at one point he was doing it a couple times a week, where he would go to a mall, he would find a woman that he was attracted to, and he would say this. Excuse me, I know this is going to sound strange, but if I don't ask you now, I'm going to be kicking myself for the rest of the day. I'm running to meet a friend. I do have friends, and I'm not a stalker, I promise, but I think you are really attractive. Could I have your phone number? I'm not a psycho, I promise. You can give me a fake one if you're not interested. This was his script that he used to break fear to express his attraction. Now, here's the issue with attracting a woman. Her level of interest, her attraction increases when a man has confidence in expressing his attraction, whether or not she says yes or no. Okay. She will give it another thought just because you've expressed your level of attraction with a level of confidence. You're not saying you want to marry her. All you're saying is, hey, I think you're attractive. I'm not a psycho, I promise. You can give me a fake one if you're not interested. It's safe for everyone. There's a script. Use it, take it. Use that, men, to break your fear in order to step into expressing your attraction to a woman, because it actually makes you attractive, right? Attraction to him. Now, a woman. Say you are, this is a technique to attract a man. Say you're at a party. You want to position yourself. This is from Matthew Hussey, and he says, position yourself in a high traffic place at a party. Position yourself for eye contact, because eye contact is connection, and learn how to smile. Right? It's actually not too complicated. You want to have the mindset of a host. The mindset of a host, the host is always saying, hey, how's your night going? They're going around making sure that They're taking ownership of the party. They're making sure that they feel welcome. You're warm. You're friendly. Hey, can I get you a drink? You have the mindset of the host, and you want to be like the butterfly, right? And the butterfly, what does the butterfly do? The butterfly floats, and it's bouncing from one person to the next, enjoying conversation, having a good time. Avoid small talk, women. Avoid small talk like the plague. Small talk is absolutely boring, right? Talk about things that you care about. Talk about things that you're passionate about. I mean, you don't have to go crazy deep. I like Coldplay, right? One of the things that I could express I'm passionate about. Oh, I was listening to Fix You a couple nights ago. I just love Coldplay. I'm going to see them in September. One of my favorite bands, right? It gives them something more specific to talk about rather than how's the weather. Avoid the boring small talk. That's what you want to do. Again, be the butterfly. Touch here, touch there. You want to keep it light. You want to position yourself for eye contact. Smile. And this is a great way to set yourself up for a man to be attracted to you. You also want to think about your lifestyle. Create a rich, meaningful lifestyle. In other words, you're at this party in the first place. Why are you here? You're here because you have a fulfilling lifestyle, right? You want to make sure that you're approachable. Be the type of person when someone says, I like to be with that person and hear what's going on in their life. You want to be approachable and take risk. All of us have to take risk. In order to step into this process, we have to overcome the fear of being rejected. I have a script for you to face your fear. Here's your script. This script was actually used on me a few years ago. I was not attracted to this woman, but what she said to me caused me to think about her, that I could actually possibly be attracted to her. And she says to me, "Hey, Ryan, I really enjoyed talking with you the other day. I have a feeling in a different context we would be really good friends. I just want you to know after our conversation, I grew in respect for you." Whoa. Caused me to sit back. Here is a woman basically saying, I really appreciate you. I really like. She's not saying she wanted to marry me. She's basically saying, there's something about you I find intriguing. There's something that I'm attracted to you. Because she said that, because she took the risk, even though I wasn't attracted to her, it caused me to have a second thought. So there you go. This is a very simple technique for a woman to attract a woman, and a very simple technique to attract a man. Use these scripts, change them, tweak them. Again, you want to create a context where you're breaking through the fear of expressing attraction in order to get into the process. This is where emotional intelligence comes in. This is an action that you can do to release the confident person of who you are. Uncertainty, the second phase, uncertainty in exploring a fit. Okay, this is the most difficult aspect of a relationship. This is where you transition from being attracted to many people, and I encourage you, both men and women, be attracted to a variety of different people. There's beautiful people out there, and they're attractive in their own ways for whatever reason, but this is moving from attraction to uncertainty is where you move from many to one, okay? And it's very important that basically you have two different individuals from two different family backgrounds, from two different possibly value structures, two different personalities, and you're trying to figure out, there's usually generally a rub of uncertainty whether or not you all are going to be a good fit together. Both men and women have to guard against the fantasy, right? Because you'll start thinking to yourself, as you focus in on the one, specifically men, when you're focusing on the one, your attraction is a level of fantasy, but it's really not intimacy. We're going to teach you how to get to intimacy here in a little bit. But the mind tries to play tricks on you, thinking that you're in intimacy, but you're actually just in fantasy. For men, a very important thing to do in the place of uncertainty is to start giving of yourself in little ways to the woman to see how she's going to react. Because one of the things that is going to be important for you is you want to begin the process of learning how to put a smile on your face. Because for a man, what it actually does is it actually brings you joy to see her in an enjoyable place. So it's important for you in this place to express, do small things for her, to make sure to explore what it looks like to move through uncertainty. For women, it's important that in the time as he is pursuing you, to learn how to receive well and enjoy those things that he is doing for you. And again, you got a lot of things going on. It's the most difficult aspect of a relationship to get through this. But if you can get through this and you've determined that there's a level of values on both sides and you have that level of attraction there, it's a great setup for the next phase is commitment. Yep, we're both diving in. This is from many to one. You're diving into commitment, into making this relationship work. You're moving from multiple people. You've explored. You've gone through the uncertainty, many to one. Now you are in an exclusive relationship, and you men. The lie for you is I've won. I've pursued her, and I won. This is very dangerous to think that you've won because you get complacent. And when you get complacent, you're not setting yourself up for the future. What you need to do is understand that this is actually just the beginning of investing in her to keep doing those things on a consistent basis so that you have a history built up of putting a smile on her face, of putting your best foot forward. Because as you get into the phases of intimacy and engagement, you're going to need that history to fall back on, because sometimes in the place of intimacy, it gets really intense emotionally, right? You want to create, this is just the beginning of creating a history with her of those experiences together, of where you are really investing into her and finding out, doing detailed investigative research on what makes her feel special, and then taking action on it and doing it multiple different times. The number one lie for a woman is I have to do. If you feel him pulling back, he's thought to himself, he's won, he's been complacent. Your temptation is that you need to do. Don't. You need to learn how to receive. And if he pulls back or for whatever reason, you let him step into that level of pursuit. Because if you start to pursue him, basically you're justifying his complacency. And it creates for a not so healthy relationship, and it gets all messed up and it gets all twisted. It's very important that you learn to receive. My girlfriend, Angie, is amazing at receiving. I just love when she has a smile on her face and she just receives from me. When we go out on our dates, I take her out every Friday. Just seeing that level of enjoyment on her face just makes me happy, and I so enjoy it. The fourth phase is intimacy, into me and into you. Now, this is where a relationship gets amazing. Danny Silk, he is an author, says that to be intimate with another human being is a place of euphoria. It's a beautiful place where you've opened up and you've shared what's going on within you, and she's opened up and she shared what's going on within her. It's some call it the most enjoyable thing on earth, is when you can be intimate with another individual, and you're fully accepted. You're fully accepted for who you are, and she is fully accepted for who she is. It's a beautiful place, and it's important that you learn communication, that you learn how to express what's going on within you, and have heck of a lots of fun in this process. It's a magical place, this place of intimacy with another individual. The final phase is engagement, preparation for a lifetime. And this is the two most important phrases in engagement are, will you forgive me? And I am sorry. Okay. As you're in this place of engagement, you're going to rub each other wrong for whatever reason. It's important that you learn the communication process. I have some tools that I'm going to show you a little bit later that can help you in that, and learning to offer will you forgive me? I'm sorry, and also learning the phrase "you are forgiven." I forgot to put that in there. You are forgiven. This is also a preparation where you need to look at for the future family. What does family look like? How are you going to raise your kids? What's your engagement with the in-laws? You can't, you're going to marry the individual, but you can't get rid of their family. This is something that you are going to be with for the rest of your life. If it's a lifelong fulfilling relationship, and that's something that you need to take into consideration. The other is finances. Are you a spender? Are you a saver? Who's going to pay the bills? How do you approach finances? What does that look like? These are a variety of different questions. The third area is sex. What are the history of each individuals as you go through your intimacy phase and your engagement phase? You're going to have to explore what sex means to you, and when sex comes out of this place of intimacy, it is absolutely beautiful, and it gets better and better and better. The problem is a lot of people will say that they're looking for that sleazy technique to get a girl in bed or to get the guy or whatever. The problem is it starts off good, but it ends horribly because you don't understand intimacy. Intimacy is intricately connected to sex, and when those two are understood well together, it actually gets better and better. And the last is communication, how you're communicating, knowing your nonverbals, and what you're saying, what you're not saying. These are 4 areas that need to be looked at when you're talking about engagement with another person. So let's recap. Avoid like the plague the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: stonewalling, defensiveness, contempt, and criticism. Acknowledge the 4 aspects of emotional intelligence as a pathway for an incredibly healthy relationship: self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, social management, confidence, empathy, self-control, and influence, a healthy development of a dating process, attraction, uncertainty, commitment, intimacy, and engagement. A very simple technique to attract a woman, a very simple technique to attract a man. That should say man and not a woman. A simple technique to attract a woman and a simple technique to attract a man. How many of you feel like this right now? You just got a ton of content. That's okay. We get that quite a bit. Well, you're not going to be emotionally intelligent in dating after taking a 1-hour webinar. It is completely okay. I want to remind you in a few moments, I'm going to give you access to the bonuses. Have I delivered on my promise to make this webinar valuable and worth your time? If so, just write yes in the chat, chat comments to your right. We've covered a lot, but there's still so much more to learn. Here are just some things that we need to learn, that you need to learn to be emotionally intelligent in dating. Do opposites attract, or compatibility? What's the relationship between the two? Developing internal values that last, techniques on getting rid of irrational thinking, self-awareness techniques not to let your emotions hijack the dating process, how to confidently feel uncertain when in the uncertainty phase, knowing yourself, knowing your values through the EQ dating action diagram. That's something that I offer. Techniques to increase self-awareness, the 7 pillars of a healthy relationship, how to prevent sabotage in a relationship that has just entered commitment, the trust cycle versus the mistrust cycle, establishing a pattern of health, life, and trust, 3 forms of communication, from passive to aggressive to passive-aggressive, and assertive communication, the I messages, and for conflict and manage communication conflict, multiple layered chemistry, multi-levels of intimacy, the 4-fold movement of forgiveness, forgiveness process in a relationship, and how to fuse a relationship together through this incredible value called hope, the expectation that things are going to get better. How many of our relationships, if we just said sex will get better in a relationship if you understand intimacy, will it cause both men and women to understand intimacy? It's because when you infuse hope, this idea of hope, that things get better. It's a great value to have. So I want you to picture someone successful. someone who has understood that there is opportunity in the dating world, and they're facing their fears of overcoming rejection. They're facing their fears of expressing their attraction. And then I want you to picture someone who is struggling, someone who is hopeless, someone who has gone through a hard breakup and they are really reeling from the pain of the loss, or they're experiencing that rejection. I want you to picture these two individuals, someone who's successful and someone who is struggling. What's the difference between the two? Is it a lack of opportunity or a lack of knowledge and support? Let me give you some statistics on dating in the United States. There are 124.6 million single people in the United States alone. 40 million Americans are using online dating services. Major media sources are saying that there's literally dating opportunities for every interest group out there. Tons of opportunity. So, is there a lack of opportunity or a lack of knowledge and support? And I would say lack of actionable knowledge, because knowledge alone doesn't change anything. You need actionable knowledge. Would you like me to help you with your dating life and your development of emotional intelligence in dating? I know you can do this. You know you can do this, but you just need some guidance. You showed up today. Here are a few reasons why you showed up today. You're trying to figure out how to date on your own, and it's just not working for you. You want to spend more time putting into practice EQ and dating practices than just trying to all this stuff out. Deep down, you know you have the ability to learn relationship skills. And by the way, relationships are skills, and because they're skills, they can be learned, right? Deep down, you know that you have the ability to learn relationship skills and become a master at relationship, creating a life of a deep romantic love for you and your partner, right? These are just some of the reasons why you may have showed up today. I want you to meet back Jack and Melanie. They don't exist. They're fictional, so don't worry about it. Imagine Jack and Melanie. They didn't have the guidance or instruction in this area in life. They didn't have mentors. They didn't have really good parent figures. Okay. What if Jack and Melanie were never taught these lessons, provided in an incredible system to walk them through a community to reach a result where Jack and Melanie became emotionally intelligent in dating? Right. What if Jack and Melanie had a step-by-step system leading them on how to be emotionally intelligent into dating? Well, I want you to welcome you to the Emotional Intelligence in Dating Academy, and this is a screenshot of what it looks like on the inside part of the academy, right? This is a complete A to Z system that teaches you how to exercise emotional intelligence as you move through the 5 phases of a dating relationship. Here's what you get in the full Emotional Intelligence in Dating Academy. You get access to over 40 video lessons, 14 different scripts for men and women to attract someone, right? So these are the scripts used to break fear. 3 bonus PDFs and fast action, the fast action bonus. All the top level materials that high level dating coaches use for coaching clients. Access to a private Facebook group. 8 case studies of men and women who are going through who have gone through various stages of EQ and dating. And weekly Q&A sessions at the end of each modular. Okay, there are 7 weeks to there's a modular a week of videos released on a weekly basis over 7 weeks. This is the #1 step-by-step video training course on emotional intelligence in dating. It's a 7-week course, right? What does this course cover? A step-by-step video teaching, access to a private Facebook group for support and connection. It's private and it's very protected. I will kick people out in a heartbeat if they're acting inappropriately. 14 different scripts for men and women to break fear and express attraction, plus much more. Here's what you'll get. You'll get a step-by-step training course, and the value is $1,997. The private community valued at $997. And the private community is a place where you can ask your burning questions and find support through others that are in the same process as you, or maybe even experts. What results can you expect? You can learn the 5 phases of dating as it relates to EQ. You can have a detailed plan to create deep levels of connection, to have a roadmap and community support, The results that you can expect are to exercises to increase in what experts consider to be the supreme skill, EQ, in all areas of life, and much more. So here's what you get again: the EQ dating video training course, the support, the Facebook group. What we want to make sure that you have everything you need to succeed on your dating journey. When you get ready to make your first approach, wouldn't it be great to look through some scripts as a means to overcome fear? When you get stuck in your dating journey, wouldn't it be great to have a group of people to support you as you move through the dating process? Wouldn't it be helpful to know that what you're feeling is normal and what you're looking for as you move toward engagement? At any stage of the dating process, wouldn't it be helpful to see others who have done it and be able to learn from them? Well, here are the bonuses. The bonus number 1, the 14 different scripts for men and women in the attraction stage, $497 value, live Q&A, $497 value, top-level dating coaching material, $397 value. Basically, getting the material that top-level dating coaches use to teach their clients, right? I'm going to give you access to where to get that material, right? Bonus number 4, 8 case studies of men and women who have gone through all 5 stages of dating, $397 value. So here's what you get: the video courses, the Facebook support group, the bonuses, nearly a $4,500 value, and that's quite a lot. Top-level dating courses are charging $4,000, $5,000, and there are some courses out there that are charging $7,000 for their courses. The full Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy, right? A one-time payment that I normally charge is $1,497, $1,497 for a one-time payment. But since you are on this webinar with me, we're going to do something a little crazy. We're taking $1,300 off, and so I'm charging $197, a one-time payment, $197 for this course, over 40 videos, 14 different scripts, the bonuses, the fast action bonuses, the materials of top-level dating coaches, access to the private Facebook group, the case studies, $197 for a one-time payment. Now, if you purchase this webinar in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to send you a teaching on how an online dating coach gets his clients dates immediately. I think you're going to like it. You get lifetime access, and this is actually going away soon. You get lifetime access to the course. You get all the extra bonuses. You get all the resources, are downloadable PDFs, transcripts, videos, MP3s. You get quality support. And let me take away all the risk for you. I'm going to take away absolutely all the risk for you in this course. If you do all the work and don't get the results and you're not happy with the program, I don't want your money. All the risk is on me. I'm offering a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee, right? You can take the course. You can get in for 4.5 weeks, whatever it is, and you can take it and you say, I don't like it. At 30 days, I will give you all of your money back. All of it. All the risk is on me, right? Are you ready to join? Click the link to the right in this video or go to www.youreqlife.com/join, right? If you're ready to join, just click the link to the right of this video or go to www.youreqlife.com/join. And here's what it's going to take you to. This is a screenshot of our, this is Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy. It's got the contact information, the billing information. Click over there to join right now. Why should you invest in Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy? The price will be increasing. This will be the lowest possible price that you can get. As we increase the content and the value, we're going to slowly raise the price. You will never be able to join the Academy for a lower price than what you're paying today. $1,300, the $1,300 discount, $1,300 discount plus the webinar only bonuses will be disappearing in a few minutes. The 30-day 100% money back guarantee, you have zero risk. Is emotional intelligence in dating right for you? Emotional Intelligence in Dating Academy is not for you if you do not think you have if you don't think you have any work to do, right? If you think that you're just going to be emotionally intelligent automatically just by getting the course, you're going to have work to do. If that's your thinking, this academy isn't for you. This academy isn't for you if you think you can be committed to 5 to 10 different people and be a player. If that's you, then this academy is not for you. If you think that you're going to be automatically become emotionally intelligent tomorrow by signing up, then don't get this academy. If you're an arrogant jerk face looking for sleazy hat tricks on how to manipulate people, do not join this academy. I'll sniff you out in the beginning anyway. I'll kick you out. If you're going to be an arrogant jerk face looking for sleaze, don't come this direction. This academy isn't for you. EQ in dating is perfect for you if you desire a step-by-step system that will walk you through becoming emotionally intelligent through the 5 stages of a dating relationship. You need a new plan to approach your dating life. It's perfect for you if you need support and accountability to pursue the opportunity. It's perfect for you if you want the word-for-word dating scripts that others have used to break fear and increase confidence. With the incredible low price that we're offering you today, it's roughly the same cost as 1 month of health insurance for singles. And if you don't like it or you don't get the results you're looking for, we'll return all your money, the 30-day money back guarantee. At this point in your dating life, you have 2 options. You can settle for what you have now, keep doing what you've been doing, and get the same results you've been getting. Or number 2, make a small investment and give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, get your money back. You ready to join? Click the link to the right of this video, www.youreqlife.com/join. It should be in the link to your right. Live Q&A. Let's go to the questions now. I am going off my PowerPoint and I'm looking at Google Hangouts. So let's see here. Okay, I'm going to click over off my screen share. Okay. All right, can you guys see me? Okay. I want that's the big changes that I made were in the pitch at the end. Was it good? Well done. I get a well done from Steve. Man. Did you guys can unmute yourself and comment if you want. You can't unmute. Okay. Cool. Well, let's see here. Hold on. Control room. One more thing. 1 second. Well, I can't unmute you for you two for whatever reason. How about Steve? I'll just call you in a little bit. I love your feedback. Sound good? Cool. And babe, I'm going to call you here in a few minutes. Okay. Hey, bro, good seeing you. I wish we could hear your voice. Maybe we could fix that next time. So, I guess we're done. I'm clicking off. You guys are rock stars.